My name is Marina. I'm here representing CNN Brazil for this interview. Thank you for this opportunity to talk
Sure.
to Mr. Allen. So I would like to make a few questions about your most recent movie, Coup de Chance. The first one, of course, chance plays a very decisive role in your movies like Match Point and Coup de Chance. So I would like to know if you, Mr. Allen, personally, do you believe in fate? How is your relationship with fate?
Well, I believe that much of our life, much more than we like to admit, is based on luck. And we like to think that we control everything, but we don't. We control a little bit, but most of it is just random and chance and luck. And I've been very lucky my whole life. I've had good luck. I had good luck. I came from a good family. I have a very nice family now. I've had good luck with my work. I've had good luck with my health so far. So but it's very dependent. If I had gotten bad luck with my family originally, or bad luck with my wife, or bad luck with my health or anything, I would have had a completely different life and much less pleasant. But I've been fortunate to have been lucky. I didn't, I didn't, I didn't make it all happen. I made some of it happen. I was able to do some things that have happened to me were because I worked hard, and but a lot of the things were out of my control.
Yeah. And in Coup de Chance, we also learned that luck can be either good or sometimes even bad. Do you have any superstitions to avoid bad luck?
Any superstitions?
Yeah.
Uh, no more. I used to have a superstition that when I ate my breakfast, I always cut my banana into seven pieces, no
Wow.
more, no less. And I always did that for years.
And
And
why did you
then
stop?
I stopped because I stopped eating bananas for breakfast. So, I do find that I pick up little superstitions over the years, and of course, I don't believe in any of that, but yet I still, I'm always afraid. For example, if I don't cut my banana in seven pieces, that something bad will happen. And I'm not a religious person or a person who believes in astrology or believes in any kind of, cults or any kind of, I'm very, very scientific minded. Normally,
Mm.
I was interested in being a scientist when I was a little boy. Um, but with all of that, I still develop these little superstitions, and once I start them, I'm afraid to discontinue them because I'm afraid if I discontinue, then a bad thing will happen. And of course, it's so stupid, but but then
So you filmed in very different cities like New York, Paris, London, Barcelona. So how universal do you think the love stories are in all those different cultures?
well, I was always surprised that excuse me, that my films were universal. I thought when I started that I was a real New York filmmaker. And it was my interests were the interests of New York and for New York people. My jokes were for New York. My references were for New York. And then I found that they weren't just for New York. I found that they were succeeding in California and in Texas. And then they were succeeding in London and Paris and Rome. And then they were succeeding in Argentina, and they were succeeding in Japan. And I had no idea why. I didn't expect it. But I think the only thing you can learn from that is you do what you do. And if you do it honestly and it has any meaning at all, if what you're doing is honest and it has some meaning, it will mean something to people all over. It may mean something to people in New York, but if it's honest, it will also mean, if it says something about human beings or something real, it will resonate in Tokyo and in Mexico City.
Yeah. So I want to know more. How was your experience to live in Paris to film Coupe de Chance? How was your Parisian life? Is very different from your New York life?
Yes, it's different. They're two different cities. They're similar in certain ways, but Paris is much more beautiful, and it's a slower pace. Everything in New York is very fast, and I'm used to that. I grew up with that my whole life, so I'm used to a New York pace, which is very fast, nervous energy, loud streets, is everything going on all the time, day and night, and some people like that, and some people don't like it. Paris is more relaxed than New York. It's the people take a longer lunch. It's just more relaxed, but it's very beautiful, and it's a pleasure to walk around. I like to walk around, and it's a pleasure to walk around, and it's a charming way to live. You look out your window, and everything is so pretty, and you eat so well, and you live so well. The Parisians really have made living an art form for many years.
And how was the experience of filming with French cast, only French in the cast, right?
Mm.
How was the experience for you?
Easy. It was easy. They took my script. I wrote it in English, of course, and they translated it into French. The actors, just about all of them, speak English because everybody in Europe seems to speak English, and so I could direct them in English, tell them what I wanted, and then they would do it, film them, and I know what they're saying because I wrote it. So I know what they're saying to each other, even though I don't speak the language. And you can tell who the good actors are in a foreign language. I'm sure when you go to see a Japanese film, you can tell what's a great performance from somebody. Even though you don't speak the language, probably you can tell. And so I could tell that someone is being too loud or too fast or not sweet enough, too angry, whatever. And then I would just talk to them in English, and they would change. They were very good actors and actresses, and they would just give me what I needed in English.
And how was the reception of Coupe de Chance in the US? Because it was only in French, and the American viewers are not so used to watching films with subtitles and foreign language. How do you think was the reception in the US?
Well, the reception was good, but always this goes back to the great French filmmakers, Renoir and Truffaut and Godard and René, all these filmmakers. If you make a film in a foreign language in the United States, if it says subtitles in it, you're always going to get a much smaller audience. Even these masterpieces by Ingmar Bergman and Kurosawa and Fellini, you get a smaller audience because most people want to go to the movies. They want to see a movie in their own language, and it has a select audience. In the big cities, where it's more cosmopolitan, you get a nicer audience, a larger audience. But we knew this going in. We knew that if I made that same movie in English with American actors, it would make more money because Americans want to see. They don't want to read titles. They want to see the movie. But I wanted to make it in French, and it's done very nicely all over the world so far. Wherever it's played, it's done because the story I think is a interesting story to people, and the actors are very good, and so, but it will never make the same kind of box office that in America or Canada or Australia, English-speaking countries, never make the same kind of box office that an English-speaking film will make.
So, Mr. Allen, we are almost running out of time. Just one last question. I would like to know more about your plans for the future. After 50 films, is there any stories that you still want to tell to the viewers?
Well, I was going to stay home and write for the theater, maybe write some books or write for the theater. If somebody calls me up and says, we'll give you the money to make a new film, and it's easy for me, then I would do it. But I don't want to have to, usually, my whole life, I've had trouble raising the financing of films. So I don't want to have to go to meetings and lunch and dinner and get a little money here, a little there. It's such a, I don't want to do that. If somebody comes forward and says, we have the money, if you want to make a film, we will finance it, and I don't have to do anything except make the film, that's fine. Otherwise, I'd be very happy to stay home and write for the theater and write for, prose. I'm perfect. 50 films is enough for me. But I have some very good ideas and could probably do another 10 or 12 movies if my health holds out and if people want to finance them.
Okay, so thank you again for this opportunity. I think that's all.
Okay, well, thank you.